I really can't believe we're at the third entry in the Skyline series now. The first one was a two-thirds good movie that really kind of faltered near the end. I really kind of enjoyed Beyond Skyline because it went bonkers. It went a little bit crazy with some of the way of its story options, and it had Frank Grillo as well, which is really good. And at the end of that, we're left with this child Rose, who is part human, part alien. And now when we go into the third one, we're continuing that story of that character. We get a really kind of rushed backstory to her character, how she progressed quickly through years, different from humans, how she became integral to the fight against the alien invasion, how her decisions caused deaths of a lot of people, and now she's kind of just hiding out in amongst humanity in this barren wasteland of what is left of Earth. And you have all these typical kind of tropes that you've seen them before in other movies, but wait for it, that's not a bad thing generally. It's a little bit of a shorthand into the movie. You're given a character who has faltered, who is looking for redemption, who isn't sure of her place in the world and where she fits in. You have a ragtag group of soldiers who arrest only to allow her to captain a mission into a planet where they want to steal a MacGuffin of some sort. And this is all kind of rushed within the first 20 minutes until we get the inclusion of these atypical characters as we are just flung into their space adventure. Now, the real magic in this movie happens once they land on this planet, and it becomes a little pastiche of other movies, but takes on this really kind of fun action horror trope that I really did like. Once they're onto this planet, they are doing all these different kind of action set pieces which are really fun and varied, particularly the monsters that they're battling against. We get these wonderful creatures that seem to be a little bit like Attack the Block creatures. It feels a little bit like Pitch Black in the way that it shoots this sets, the way it has these creatures, the way they attack, and the reasons that you can kind of hold them is similar in tone to those kind of movies. Doesn't mean it's a complete rip-off. It adds its own spin to it. It's really fun. It feels like it's really throwing the kitchen sink in with a lot of the plot twists, and there are many in this movie. And I, for one, felt that they really rejuvenated the movie consistently throughout the latter half. You have familiar tropes, familiar characters doing typical things, but because of the constant shifting of characters, the constant shifting of tone, and the way the story elements come into this actually adds a sense of excitement to what is going to happen next. You get the inclusion of just crazy characters just for the hell of it. You get Yaya Ruyan, who is in this movie, and it feels like a little bit of the raid contingent thrown in with him. You know, you had Iko Uwais in the last movie, and he's there just to kick ass. It's unnecessary, but it's a fun addition just because. There's two warring storylines here. You've got the one on Earth, you've got the one in space that's going on at a similar time. You've got James Cosmo in here, who's pretty much just a little bit of a narrator, a little bit there for exposition and to have a fun kind of send-off. It is violent, it is action-packed, it has some really good special effects. It's got a walking, talking alien as one of the main characters who feels as if he is part of this team, who feels like a real live person in amongst this crew. Now, there is a lot of things that are unoriginal about Skylines, but that doesn't detract from the fact that it's a lot of fun. They've got this sort of DIY sci-fi special here that it doesn't feel anywhere as if it belongs in the Sci-Fi channel. It feels like a big budgeted actioneer movie, and I for one had a lot of fun with the action set pieces, with the changing of the storyline, with the special effects, with quite a few of the fight scenes, and with some of the over the top moments that the movie has. It even has a kind of comedic outtakes at the end of this where people are just walking into sets, they're bursting into fits of laughter, and it shows that they kind of laugh out loud at their own movie that they were kind of doing. You know, they knew the tone of what they were doing. They seemed to be having a lot of fun, and it's just an unnecessary addition, but one that I really kind of liked at the end of this. More movies should have that, poking fun at themselves and having a little playful outro, so to say. Skylines, I liked it a lot. I think it's slightly better than Beyond Skyline. Definitely better than the first one, and something I would recommend checking out, especially if you enjoyed the second one. I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.